The next article we're going to talk about is from EdSurge, and it's about Jeff Bezos, who's like coming late to the game because, the article is called Jeff Bezos Wants to Go to the Moon and Then Public Education. So it's like he kind of realized now, it's like there's that whole thing with the cyberspace. There are people, there are potentially stations for people out there. I should probably look into it since I'm one of the richest men in the world. Didn't Elon also kick him off top one? I'm pretty sure he did the other day.
Yeah, a lot of times, not only once.
Yeah, so Jeff Bezos is investing $2 billion in establishing a Montessori-inspired network of preschools, which is in very big opposition to what I have predicted earlier on the show, that there should be like an Amazon University, because I think that's an obvious play. But he's actually betting on preschool. And it says, Jeff Bezos may have been shrugged off by many as the world's richest man dabbling into another playground. Instead, we should see it for what it is. The early days of Amazon's foray into public education. So they are finally making an education play. And I think they also sort of hint a famous interview with Bezos in 1997, where he explained why Amazon started selling books. And it says, hint, it had nothing to do with Bezos' love for literature. Books were simply a stepping stone, the best first thing to sell. So Amazon will go into everything.
Eventually.
Education is very much a natural next step. But I think, again, if you look at it from a COVID lens, for example, the Danish government, like almost like every other European government, has now been shouting Amazon's coming for a long time. And inadvertently, it's actually the current lockdown policies of the government that are making Amazon thrive. Because, for example, in Denmark, since December, every store except the grocery store has been closed. So even if you're buying Christmas presents, birthday presents, stuff for your office, whatever you're buying, we're now pushing those of you, I'll say, because I don't go to a store anymore, but those of you who are not, already only buying stuff online are now being pushed out. And I think once you go there, you're never going to come back.
Oh, yeah. It's so much easier.
Never, ever. I ordered groceries last night on this Nimli. That's the one that's in Denmark. They came the same day. The same day. And not only did they come the same day, they have this supplier network under them where I can still get my favorite bakery, and I can still get my favorite butcher. I still get my favorite, deli chocolates, but all from one place. Imagine that. Not only would I have had to take significant more time out of my calendar, drive around the whole city, it would have taken hours. And now one click and I get everything delivered to my house.
So much easier.
So the death of stores is for sure going to happen. And I also saw a statistic last night that in Denmark, over, I think it was the last 10 years, 25% of all physical stores have already closed. It was really wild. So it is, a predictable play. I think also because we see Google and Microsoft and Apple playing in this space already. And we haven't seen Amazon really play in the space. So I also think he can't really afford not to be there. As you see, while Google, Microsoft, and Apple have been pursuing their vision for K-12 and higher education for more than a decade, Amazon's efforts, which have included selling instructional software and creating an online marketplace for digital educational resources, have largely stalled. So it is a criticism saying, why haven't they been doing something in the space? Then they saw the pandemic. They see that more students are either online or learning through a hybrid model. This will likely also influence the selling of books. So they're seeing that, they can also become outdated with their model unless they sort of fundamentally change a lot of what they're doing.
Amazon is everywhere.
Yeah, and the final play is data. I think those of you out there who like data, most of you look to Facebook and say, imagine all this data Facebook have on you. And that's right. They have a lot of data about our behavior and our interests. Imagine the kind of data they have on our learning platform. I know a lot about that.
Oh, yeah.
About how we're learning, also what we're consuming, what we're good at. Facebook doesn't know what we're good at. They don't know how good we are at it. They don't know what competences we have. They know something about our interests and our consumer behavior. But they're actually I think the power of combining all of that data into one is incredibly powerful.
Now you know what actually people think, what's in their head, not only what they want to do.